make clear slime tutorial for beginners, and I really hope that you find it helpful. The first thing that you're going to need is a clear slime activator. This consists of half a teaspoon of borax to 1 cup of warm water. Then we want to stir it in to make sure all the borax is dissolved. Once we've done that, we want to grab a cloth and start wiping down all the surfaces and tools that we're going to be using to create this slime. If we don't do this, then sometimes the slime can become yellow. When everything's all clean, you can go ahead and add your glue to your bowl. I like to add a whole bottle of glue so I can use the empty bottle to fill it up with water and get an even amount of glue to water in my mix. This is really important because sometimes if you add too much, the slime can break and it isn't fun to play with. Then we're going to start adding the water really gradually to our glue and stirring in thoroughly until the mixture is all the same consistency and there are no parts that are thicker than the other. When we reach this stage, we can start adding our activator really slowly, and I have to emphasize on being slow with this. Clear slime is one of those things that if you add one too many pumps of activator, the whole thing is ruined and it turns into a rock. So I add about 5 pumps at a time and keep stirring it for about 2 minutes between adding activator. When it starts forming lumps, even if it doesn't look like slime, this just literally is just lumps in my mix. I always find that these parts become really hard, so I just scoop all of the bits that are kind of forming into my hand and just take it into another container, and then I start adding more activator to my mix and just keep repeating this until I'm left with a tiny bit of liquid at the end. The reason why I'm taking these lumps out is when I go back in with my activator to activate the rest, I always find that these parts turn into really hard slime and then it doesn't mix in with the rest and my whole slime is ruined. So once I've taken out all the lumps and I'm left with a tiny bit of liquid at the end, I put it into a pot and then I pour my liquid over it. Then I go with my spatula and start breaking up the little pieces of the lumps, and as you can see, it's already kind of forming a harder slime. So I just like going with my hand and just breaking it all up so it's easier for the water to get absorbed into the mixture. Once I've done that, I cover it in an airtight container and leave it for about 2 hours just so everything mixes in, and as you can see, you're left with a really nice sticky consistency clear slime, and it's really important that it stays sticky because otherwise the slime will become hard. To make your slime become clear more quickly, you want to put a really small amount in a big container. This was only sat out for 2 hours and as you can see, it's really clear, but with thicker slimes like this, it takes about 3 days to clear up. This is what the slime looked like after 3 days of clear up. As you can see, it's just as clear as the previous one, it's just a bit thicker. Bubbles will form in your slime again because that's just what happens when you play with it, so don't think that you've done it wrong, you just need to put it in a container and repeat the process. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. See you next week!